As you probably know, in 2017, the French president made a statement about the ban of glyphosate in France until 2022. So the president of SNCF Réseau followed him, and we had to completely rethink our production to face this ban and think about the renewal of our truck weeding production. And actually, we took into account a lot of things that Michael just said about the Tristram report. So we have launched two programs. The first one to be ready to stop the use of glyphosate at the end of 2021, and the second one to foreseeing the future weeding without synthesis phytosanitary product. So about the program to face the ban of glyphosate, I will focus on two main action. The first one is the replacement of all our weeding train fleet, and the second one is the alternative product we are currently using instead of glyphosate. So the first issue about a product is that except glyphosate, if we talk about biocontrol product, we don't have any choices available on the market. If we talk about caprylic acid, the main issue will be that the dosage is too important to be used in a weeding train. If we talk about acetic acid, there is a corrosive impact on the rail, so we cannot use it. And if we talk about pelargonic acid, in fact, if we use pelargonic acid alone, the efficacy duration is only 20 days, which is not really important because, for example, glyphosate is about 90 days. So we saw that using it with sulfonylurea increase the duration of the effect and bring a better effect on the vegetation control compared to pelargonic acid alone. So from 2017, we did a first trial in a small plot with the two projects, and then we also engage a dialogue with minister and, for example, the sanitary agency in France to make the procedure to have the homologation of the product and be able to use it instead of glyphosate in 2022. But you can see that we began in 2017 and we needed 5 years to be able to use a product that we know about its efficacy and that we know that the sanitary agency allow us to use it. And with this combination, we can see at least 60-day efficacy, and we can go up to 120 depending on the condition of spraying and also vegetation condition. So, for example, you can see some sample of our trials in 2021, in 2020, sorry. So you can see that until 90 days, we can see the difference between the control area and the sprayed area. Also, here, for example, it's our first year of production with train and the new combination product. We can clearly see the difference between treated area and untreated area, which also shows the importance of using phytosanitary product, at least for track and safety pass. Also here, we can see the efficacy after 70 days, but we can also see that as glyphosate, the pelargonic acid doesn't have any effect on invasive species. Here it's elephant grass, but it's the same for every invasive species. Actually, if we compare to glyphosate, we can see that the combination of the two products have the same advantage and disadvantage. Because, for example, if the vegetation is well developed, we will not have a great efficacy. So we need to combine mechanical treatment and then having phytosanitary treatment to optimize the efficacy of the product. So the second part of the main program is the renew of the weeding train fleet because the current train were not able to spray pelargonic acid. So we did 5 new national train to the principal tracks and 16 regional train for the secondary tracks. So about the regional train, we have a new train, but also adapted train based on the old ones. And we integrated some specification. The most important one are probably that we have the weed detection. So it's really important because we can reduce about 50% the treatment surface on the track and safety pass. And also, we still have the traceability to register the area where we have treated, and also to have the automatic cut when the train is running on, for example, a water protection area or also housing area to avoid the treatment where it's forbidden. So before we had only one campaign, but as the product is less efficient than glyphosate, we need to have 2 campaigns from 2022, and we will have a second spraying on the most degraded area to keep vegetation level compatible with safety considerations. So I will talk a bit about our geographic information system, because in our geographic information system, we can we can translate all the regulation in data to put them into the train and have a database of the whole untreated area of the network to avoid the treatment by the train on those area. So they are all integrated in our train and also truck. So in practical, so you can see that there is a modelization of untreated area. They are put into the train, and when the train is running on that kind of area, there is a cut of the treatment, and also where there is a treatment, we have a record of the traceability, and it's very nice for us because we know that there will be a lot of regulation where we will have to be able to produce a traceability of our treatment to protect ourselves. So this system is really a complete system to input regulation and allow the train to treat only on the area where it's needed. And also, it's not on the slide, but since 1 or 2 years, they also input vegetation stratum in the system thanks to satellite images, and that allow the worker in our local exploitation to prepare their work, vegetation work, and to choose the most suitable tool depending on the stratum considered. Then it has been said before this morning, but we have a more restrictive regulation about vegetation treatment in railway tracks. And in fact, Michael said it, for the track and the safety part, we don't have any alternatives as efficient as the phytosanitary project. We know that in some high-speed line, even for us, we can avoid the use of phytosanitary product, but for old tracks, we still need phytosanitary product. And in fact, as it was said this morning, the future directive they want to replace by a regulation, want to extend the area where the phytosanitary spray will be forbidden, and it represents a lot of surface. For example, for us, for the moment, we have about 20% of untreated area because of the regulation, and if all this regulation is adopted by the European Commission, it will go to 40% for the France, for example, and it will make the vegetation management maintenance very difficult, because if it's not by a phytosanitary project, we will need more mechanical treatment, and we know that it's of course more expensive, but we even know that, for example, the industry of vegetation management in France could not absorb this adding work about vegetation. So that's why, as we know that there is a lot of infrastructure manager today, we wish you to adopt a common position by the CER to alert the Commission that if they don't take into account our specific issue, it could be a problem for the safety of running trains. Merci.